Okay, I'm glad I didn't tell that story on the air here, but
Hmm.
I'm here. I'm in Carta 95, and we're doing another episode of Incarta Talks. And it's been a long time, and I feel really bad because
Yes, it
I
has.
have FrankJavCee on the line right now. And hello, Frank.
Hello, it's me. Hi, it's me, FrankJavCee,
Yeah,
internet producer, avant-garde artist, performance artist, multimillionaire entrepreneur, marijuana weed growing
pole fitness guru.
entrepreneur. Yeah, that's one of my things too now. I'm really into fitness.
Yeah, you look
Fit in
great.
this.
You look great.
Thank you. You know what it is?
What?
I used to shock my brain. There was like this thing where like I've done like weird shit in my life, right? And I was reading the occipital lobe, which is roughly right here on the brain. Like we have video chat, but you can't tell. But it's like directly on the top of your head. There's a
Did you
band
get
that
a
controls
doctor? Did you get
movement.
a Dr. Hose? Because I have one of those. Sorry, go ahead. Keep on talking.
Mm, no, it was like this headphone that apparently would shock your brain and make you move faster. So what I used to do was I used to go to the gym and shock my brain, and it would make me move faster. And that's how I lost like a lot of weight in like
Holy shit.
2019, 2020.
Well, I saw you at the gym. I saw some videos and you were like on the treadmill, just giving it. And
Yeah,
you were
sometimes I
sweating. You're
do
like,
that.
as soon as you got sweaty, you're like, time to go live, like time to do a video, like, and then like then all of a sudden you just look great. While I like gained like
Thank
10
you.
pounds. Yeah.
It's so weird. Everyone told me like in quarantine they all got like a big chungus energy.
Oh, I got chungus.
I
Yeah, I'm
kind of the
chungus right
opposite.
now.
Like when everyone went in, I was like, you can still go outside, right? Like you don't have to interact with people. So I would just start walking more. And
Hmm.
like in LA, like I don't know, since we have like really mild, well, as you can see on my island, for those of you who can't see it, I'm on an
Yeah, you're on
island.
a Pacific island
But
right now.
yeah, I would just run around. And it was so crazy, like going to downtown LA when no one was there and it was just empty. Like it was wild.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Um,
So,
Oh, I was gonna do something a little bit before. As you know, this podcast is sponsored by automotive commercial sample script. Taking the bus is a drag. I used to be late for class all the time. Chasing after buses is not a cool look. Luckily, taking public transportation is the thing for the past for me. Thanks to Auto's used car, I was able to buy a car that my budget and style. Now I arrive on time every time. For a limited time, Autos Used Cars is offering 50% off all 2008 to 2019 models for students. And it's easy. All you have to do is show your student ID and be handed the keys to your brand new ride. Hurry in today. Get your wheels so you can finally say goodbye to the bus for good. Autos Used Cars has something for everyone.
what's the website again? Auto use.
Voices.com.
Okay.
Have you ever just been to
Are
voices.com?
you on Wi-Fi
I,
right
I do
now?
this with
Are you on
like,
Wi-Fi? Because it's like, oh wow,
yeah,
voice.
I'm on Wi Fi. It's really bad.
Yeah, well,
Sorry.
that's okay. We're gonna work with it. That's fine. But so I want people to know because it chopped up a little bit there. It's
Uh huh.
voices.com, correct?
Yeah, you just get sample voice work so you can become a voice actor.
Did you know that I was a voice actor on a few things on
Yeah,
Fiverr?
yeah,
I
everyone's a voice actor
Well,
now.
I actually did a gay porno. I did.
No way.
Yeah, I did. I actually did voiceover for a gay porno once.
Voiceover work?
I got like $7 for that, and
Ooh.
my daughter at the time, she was about 5. She was on the couch, and I had my
Mm-hmm.
studio, and she's like, "Daddy, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm working. Like, Daddy's working
Jeez.
right now." Anyway,
Yeah, that's what you do when you have children. You have to work.
yeah,
That's why I am
anything,
not going to
anything
have
for a buck.
children
No, yeah, well,
until I am 58 years old, so that they could have as many genetic, what is it called? Deformalities. Deformities. There you go.
yeah.
I'm dumb.
No, you're not.
Oh, what were
So
the questions you right before I ruined your entire podcast by
there's
reading
no
an
ruining
ad?
this pod. You know what? It's
Uh-huh.
I told you, what, 2 or 3 months ago, like, let's do a podcast.
Yeah,
And then
and
you're
I
like,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay.
hit me up. And then I was like, oh, cool. And then we didn't do it. I didn't follow up.
I know.
And
Did
then
you see how snarky I
no, and
was
then and
today?
then
I almost didn't tweet that. I was like, does this come off as rude? I'll put a
no,
smirk
it's okay.
emoji.
Yeah,
That gives it a
the smirk gave it
lightheartedness.
a lightheartedness that I understood. So then
Yeah.
after I booked a Incarta Talks with you, I booked an Incarta Talks with my dear friend Tova, Stevia Sphere, and she's amazing. So she's like, yeah, totally, let's do it. And then I had to like backpedal on that. I'm like, I got so much stuff going on in my life right now. I'm sorry, like I need to just, we're gonna put this on the back burner. So now I'm working my way towards. So now you're doing Incarta Talks, and then Stevia Sphere is gonna do Incarta Talks.
Cool.
Yeah, and this is
what was I gonna say? There was like how like every New Year's you have like a New Year's resolution period.
Yeah.
Mine was I wanted to be on as many podcasts as I want. Like I want my own podcast. Like I wanted to call it like Frank Talks, and it's just like where I just talk to people because like
that's like me. That's really like Incarta Talks. Yeah.
Well, Frank is like, do you know like Frank meaning honesty? Like let me be frank.
Okay. Well, I wish I had that foresight to put a little bit extra pizzazz in my. No, but I can I be on Frank Talks?
Yeah, you could if you want.
You're gonna like.
This is technically a Frank Talk, but in Incarta.
Let's get a Frank Talk in right now because I got some stuff on my chest. I need to get off my chest.
Okay. How do you feel in this exact moment?
Well, I got a new job.
Where'd you get a job at?
I got a job at a place that does video solutions for the Oscars and the Super Bowl and all these different places. And they offered me me more money. And I'm an IT help desk guy. So anyway, I'm looking for.
I know so many IT guys. Like, all my friends that aren't musicians are all in IT.
Yeah, and I couldn't even get like Snap camera working tonight. But anyway.
Just open up the code. I'll show you where it messes up.
Yeah, I'm more of like a troubleshooter. I'm not like they asked me. Because I already have a job that I really like. So they're like, hey, in the interview, I'm like, when you have an interview and you don't care if you get the job or not, you're just totally relaxed.
No, I've never.
Oh, okay.
I've never done an interview for a job. I just create it. Like,
well, you have your vision board, yeah. So like,
have you seen my vision board?
No, I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Okay, it's really dumb.
It's not dumb.
I know because it hasn't come true yet. You probably can't see it, but it's like I have like all this money, all these houses, all these people hanging out together, or some like romance and love. Like it's just like a little thing that I see every day.
What do you spend $7,000 a month on? Anime art or something, or furry art or something?
Furry bara art.
So I saw your tweet or whatever the other day. You're like, I need more money because I'm like spending a lot of money on art.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do NFTs like me? Like
No, because I have too many people sending me threats.
Yeah, but you can do clean NFTs like the Tezos and stuff.
You know what I was thinking about doing? Because like the FrankJavCee brand is so limiting because it's me, like as an essence, and I've been wanting to shift my focus on just having the art be what's at the main focus. So I may or may not be doing stuff where I do like background. Like, I don't know how to say it, where I let the art speak for itself, but I'm not going to let anyone know it's secretly me. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
but yeah, I love all art, like all art forms. I think it's interesting right now. I think it's a bit of like a bull market where it's definitely on its high, but it's already going to hit its peak where it's going to start going down. I feel it in my bones.
Well, that's like even like the housing market here where I am. Houses are selling for like $100,000 over the asking price. It's like a bubble. But you know what though? It's like I think people are just like they're quarantined. People are sitting at home, and a lot of people, whether you like it or not, a lot of people have cash. And it's funny, like you don't realize like I'm broke, but anyway, like it's funny that you don't realize how many people just have cash to burn, and they're like sitting at home going, you know what? I'm gonna buy a friggin' NFT for like $300 or like $1,000. And just that's an investment.
I was going to turn my How to Vaporwave into an NFT.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it, but the only problem is it uses pre-existing artwork, and that's a whole copyright issue in itself. Like,
did that take,
a lot of my early stuff?
Did it get taken down from YouTube at one point? I think, or
it's been gone for so I haven't touched YouTube in 3 years because of like weird FL Studio legal reasons. I was promoting a pirated copy of FL Studio, and like I think that individual pirated copy got like downloaded like millions of times, I think.
Yeah.
And so
little torrent.
I had like a huge like an actual legal battle. And then I also started looking into like laws and stuff, and piracy is like one of those big international like crimes.
Well,
So
it's
long
kind of weird.
story
You think it's
short,
like fun game is fun in games, right? For us, it's like, well, whatever. Like, you're doing a video,
mhm,
like all you do is download this, download the torrent, and but the thing is, like,
mhm,
once their legal team grasps onto that, it's like that must be
mhm.
terrifying. Like, you know what I
It
mean?
was
Like,
scary. There was a lot of weird stuff happening at that exact moment too. It was like, I guess like, well, you know how I was telling like the universe is like an alive thing, and like the way you
yeah,
react to it, it reacts to you.
yeah.
At that moment in time, I received a lot of my just desserts. Like I had a lot of weird just shit happening to me, like in my personal life. Like although I think on the internet I try to craft an image of who I am, where I've been trying to go with like the whole mentality of like do you know like Charlie Chaplin's like tramp character? Like
Yes,
where it's just like kind of a guy that like dances around, doesn't say much, and like just
yes,
exists.
yep.
I've been creating like that for my social media for like the past like 3 or 4 years of just like cute little music man.
Yeah,
Look at
look,
me.
not
But
much to
like
say. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of like really like behind the scenes real world shit was hitting me during those moments, and it was just like super almost like unbearable. It felt like psychic torture in a way. But
Well, it
yeah,
happens as you
I
get
switched
older
to
too.
who I was as a person.
Life comes at you fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
So I've been trying to play it. I guess not safe, but like try to be more impactful with my like uh my art and like what I say and do to people. Like there was a lot of times where I would just like be like I guess trolly, like I would like purposely try to make people mad or say stuff that wasn't true, and like it still resonates to this day.
well,
Like there's this one time
oh, sorry, go ahead.
uh
I was gonna say
this one time this girl
no. I was
you
gonna
go.
say I just want to get this off my chest because like a couple of weeks ago, I took a couple of weeks off Twitter and off all social media because like I
I
like
know I saw.
yeah, yeah. So
I
like I
screenshot it
took
and I
like
sent to Randy.
I took a clonazepam, okay? Because I get like
Uh-huh.
anxiety, and then one thing you should not do on clonazepam is drink a bunch of beer,
Yeah,
and
don't
then
do any of that.
no, and then you go into a dark slide, and you don't really know what's going
Uh-huh.
on, right? And then
Yeah.
I told like HKE to fuck off and Dream Catalog to fuck off, and I
Mhm.
was like, I don't do that. Like I've never
Yeah.
on my Twitter have I ever told anyone to fuck off, and you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I was like, I need to just take a step back. Like this does not matter to me at all. Like really.
Yeah. I thought it was
So
like
I
out of
want
nowhere, but I was like, finally somebody said
it.
something.
No, I know
I mean, it wasn't gonna
it
be
was out of nowhere. It was out of like my own dark slide. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They opened up Notepad. I'm like, fuck you, Dream Catalog. Fuck you, HKE. Fuck you, Richie the Raccoon. Fucking the
Yeah.
Greek
I don't know
gods.
any of those people.
Well,
Listen, I only pay attention to lo-fi hip hop
yeah, well,
Twitter
you know what?
now.
I'm just gonna say this right now. I want to apologize to HKE and Dream Catalog. You do whatever the fuck you want, and I will never look at that again. I don't care.
All right,
So
clip
anyway,
that audio clip. I'll send it to them.
okay. So what happened in your life? So let's talk about you now. I got that out of the
Okay.
way. So
I don't know. It was like a dark period. Like sometimes I feel weird talking about it because I don't want like I basically had like a stalker who was sending me like stuff in the mail, and then they would send like noise to me that had like hidden frequencies that had images of me when me and my sister were young, and then they rearranged
uh,
videos that I did with me and my sister when we were like both young to make it sound like he was like sexually assaulting her and stuff like that. And then like I got really paranoid and I was like, do I really want to manifest this type of fan interaction? Me. And it was like super jarring and strange to see that someone made art, but in like a sinister way towards my family. And it made me really upset. And that happened this like the same week FL Studio was like, yo, we're gonna take down all your videos.
holy shit.
Yeah,
So
and I wanted to make a video about it. I wanted to be like,
people out there are fucking really weird, man. Like really weird. Like
yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like I used to just be
wow.
like, oh, I'm gonna poke the bear of the internet and make it angry at me, or like, oh, I'm gonna cause people to feel a certain way. But then like they would give it back to me like 10 times more. And like especially in like the vaporwave scene, I know so many creatives out there, but sometimes it's like there is a fine line between creativity and insanity.
Oh,
And
I
I have
know.
always had to balance between all these people that were like that.
No, it's true because I think with your persona online from the
Mhm.
get-go, you attract the people like that's how that's how I found out about vaporwave was between you and Dream Catalog. It was your
Mhm.
how-to video, and then Dot and I were looking at like Dream Catalog, and we just got right into it. So like you were my introduction into vaporwave, you know. And the thing
Yeah.
is, I swear to God, like you know, there's vaporwave scene. There's a lot of people that are
Mhm.
super like I still say to this day the vaporwave scene to me now is like just a collection of like positive energy, positive people. That's who I
Mhm.
want to be around. That's why I don't, that's not me to say fuck you to
Yeah.
anybody, but there are people that are in the scene that are just like lost with like a lot of mental issues, you know what I mean? And like
Mhm.
they're coming at you with all this stuff. How are you supposed to respond to something like that you get, you know? Like a
Yeah,
weird.
it's hard because it's like I said, poking like the I don't know, it's like people who think like that want to like I wanted to make a tweet the other day that like you know how like people like split up into binaries like oh there are type A people, type B people.
Yeah.
And I think as a creator, there are people that create and people that destroy. And I don't want to be the type of person that destroys. I want to be the type of person that
That's
creates.
a really
It's
good
hard to create
analogy. Yeah.
sometimes when you're surrounded by destroyers. That's just like I don't know. I was saying like in the scene, like right before we started this call, I wanted to thank you for introducing me to like 3D Blast because like Randy's been like one of my closest friends in the scene. Like it's weird because we have so much in common, like especially from just using FL Studio and like even Christ, and then like we later got like Disco in on the scene, but like we all have like a similar just positive vibe. So when we are able to
I agree.
like that's one of my favorite things about hanging around like creative individuals like even when I hang out with like well when I like how can I say this like people that always say yes and like it's like very improv-y, you know, you do improv, you're like oh yes but this is also happening. I hate when someone's like no as soon as like someone brings up like the word no and like blocks the energy flow, like I kind of like start like shifting away from them because I'm always going with the flow of like just making something.
Well, that's like tonight when you shamed me into you were like, "Listen, where's the podcast?" I'm like, "You know what? Let's like do you want to do one right now?" And you're
Yeah, I
and
was
you're
actually
and
supposed to
you're
live stream.
and you were like, "Yes, let's do it." I'm like, "Okay, well, let's do it then," because like, you know, I'm turning 40 in July, Frank. So it's
Mhm.
like I'm like the oldest vapor dad. Well, I don't know, maybe Mesh is I don't know how old
You're
he
one
is.
of them. I've met some of them that I was like, "Well, you're really up there. Interesting." And
But
you act like that online?
you know what? I felt bad, and I like talking to you, and let's
Uh,
I was like, let's do this podcast right now. And it's
I'm
really,
happy.
I'm happy. I miss you. I miss talking to you, and I miss talking to even Duel and
The
all them
last time
guys.
we talked was we played Fortnite before quarantine.
That's right. And I had told
Yeah,
you
that was the last
I told
time
you
we
get in
talked.
my boat. The
And that
thing.
was like my favorite thing. And then like quarantine was just Fortnite for me. I was like, well, since no one's doing anything, I'm just gonna play Fortnite.
Yeah.
I got really good at it. I'm slowly getting to like the ability where I'm like able to build, like be like, I heard a noise,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Well,
who
see,
did
now
that?
my daughter, she's getting into this game called Vigor, and I'm like, I don't know what that
Ooh,
is, but it's like
sounds.
another kind of game like that. But we also started this survival
You know what
game.
game I've been playing? Rocket League. Which one?
Oh,
There's so many out there.
I played what, the survival game? Anyway, I forget
Yeah,
what it's called, but Rocket League, I was obsessed with Rocket League for like 3 months.
I
Like
love
my
Rocket
friends and
League.
I
I
were
just
just
started
like,
playing it right now.
oh, we were just like drinking beers and playing Rocket League.
Yeah, it
And
slaps.
oh, it's like insane. It just like I don't know. Anyway, it's really good.
Uh-huh.
So what else can we talk about here? Nothing else is going on in our lives, eh? So, oh yeah, I got a new
I
job.
have a lot of stuff
Oh, you know what
actually.
happened to me today?
What
I rent this
happened?
like beautiful house, right? Like this awesome house. Like I got a good deal on it.
Mm-hmm.
My landlord calls. He's like, I'm selling the house. I'm like, what? And he's
Damn.
like, I'm gonna list it this weekend. I'm like, oh no, like don't do
Uh-huh.
that. Like we have a good
Did you have to
arrangement.
move?
I hope I don't have to move. If someone who like whoever buys a house, I hope they want like really good tenants because like it's us downstairs and then like our friend Sarah upstairs, and we all get along and like
Okay.
have barbecues and stuff, and
That's cool.
we
Well,
trade.
what's the weather like for you guys?
Right now, well, today it was 13, 14 degrees Celsius. It was like kind of warm.
See,
It's
oh, I don't
getting
know what that
better.
is. Hold on. Let me do
Yeah, I'm in
science here.
Celsius. I'm a Celsius boy.
Yeah. That's still close to like freezing though, right?
Well, 0 is freezing.
Oh, that's 55 degrees. Okay, that's like
Yeah.
me wearing like a light sweater
Yeah,
and
so
like
like
pants.
I barbecued, you know,
Uh-huh.
little
You
pep.
barbecue in that weather? That's
Oh
like LA
yeah.
winter weather. Like
No,
I wouldn't go
no.
outside of that weather.
Well,
Let's see.
come on down to my town.
Down? Okay. I have to go all the way
So
around
I
just to
mean,
get
yeah,
there.
exactly. Come on down.
Right now it is 63 degrees outside. And our
What is
our
that in
highs are like
Celsius?
usually I don't fucking know. It doesn't say. Okay, hold on. Let's do these.
I wish
these.
there was a website I could find that out.
Let's see. 63. It was like 17, 18
Oh,
Celsius.
that's perfect barbecuing weather.
But we think that's perfect barbecue weather. Okay, let's see. 75 is my perfect barbecuing weather. That's
What do
23.
you like to throw on the barbecue? Like a little chicken? What are you
Um,
doing?
I'm really into hot dogs. I'm really into like
Oh
kielbasa
yeah.
sausages.
Yep.
I'm into like steaks. Actually, my dad is a meat truck driver, so he's always getting
Oh
like the
well, he
best
has the best
cut.
cuts. Yeah.
Yeah, and we at my parents' house they have a freezer in the back just filled with meat, which was like crazy because like there was like a moment where I was like, I want to go vegan. I want to start eating nothing but greens, and I was like, nah, I can't do that because it's literally just meat in the fridge.
It's funny. Yeah.
So
I
my dad gets like this chicken breast. It's called like moist and tender, but they like marinate it in orange juice. That's like the secret. Don't tell anyone. They leave it in orange juice for a really long time, and then when you take it out, like the acid is like it kind of like gets absorbed and eats away at the breast. But when you eat it, it's so juicy.
Oh yeah.
That's the
So
secret.
do I even have to ask? Is your dad into barbecuing and smoking? Does he smoke at all? Like
No,
the meat
he's
or
just has like a regular propane grill.
yeah.
He's more into like his thing is like he has like a super old school mentality. My dad's like a huge boomer. He was born like directly in the middle of the boomer era. And like his whole thing is like he gets mad at me because I'm all about numbers and science. He's like, no, just use your eyes. And I was like, no, exact measurement and ratio. You don't understand. That's what science comes from. Because like I think music and math have a lot to do with each other,
Oh
but he's
yeah.
also kind of like dyslexic. So like he operates on his own thing. Like he kind of just lives his life in his own path, and like because of his dyslexia, like he can't even read well because he like jumbles up the stuff. So he
Okay.
just
Yeah.
does whatever he does.
Yeah.
He taught me a lot about like just like following your gut. Like he's like super into like just follow your intuition, I guess. And I
I
was like,
think I know.
okay,
You know what, Frank? I think you're pretty good at that.
I try.
I think you are very much so.
It takes me a while.
You know, that's where, that's what's gotten you here to talking to me. Just
It's funny you say that.
following your gut.
One of- yeah, like on my YouTube stuff, it's weird. Whenever someone tells me to do something and I do it, it's almost like the universe makes fun of me by like making it not as great as it is. But whenever I feel something deep in my heart, like, no, I gotta do this, it like goes huge. Like the vaporwave video, I was like kind of criticizing what it was at the time. And I was like, I think about the point in my life where I was when I made that video. It was literally 7 years ago and I was a college dropout. I was like living at my parents' house. I was trying to make music and have people hear me, but like nobody cared. It was like a really weird time where I wanted to be seen on the internet. So I was living with these weebs and they were all into like all these avant-garde experimental stuff. And they showed me Vaporwave and I was like, I could do that. I'm gonna do that then. And then instead of making the music, I just made the video. And to me, for the longest time, I think videos are very powerful forms of propaganda and like just artistic expression in general. So after that video, my life just changed, and I'm here now. But it's weird because I haven't made YouTube videos in like 3 years. Like I purposely went away from them to focus on making music because I realized I wanted to be known as a musician, and I started just focusing all my focus into music. And like right now, it's like in a really weird period. Like I love finding old songs and new songs.
Me too.
So I
Me
love
too.
hearing new things uh like I don't know, just exposing my brain to so many things. Right now I've been taking a lot of piano lessons with this one guy. He teaches on YouTube. It's called New Jazz. And he shows you like all these crazy sick like what are they like all the scales and how to do exercises to learn the scales, and like my wrist is actually kind of hurting because I'm doing a lot of stuff with it
Yeah.
like on the piano. So I've been
No, I've
flailing
been
about
listening.
if you can see.
I took a long drive this weekend and I was listening to a lot of Midwest emo for some reason. You know,
Dan
like
Mason
American
music.
football and Dan Mason, but no, it was really cool. Like, you know, and a lot of like mathematical music, you know, where the times all out, you know, well, a lot of music's like that, but it was really
It's
cool.
funny that
As much as I
Midwestern
don't like how
emo.
Spotify doesn't pay the artists enough, but I do like how Spotify is like just lets me listen to
Uh,
like whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
if Spotify gave me a penny for each stream, I would
Oh,
be so wealthy. I would be uncomfortable.
would you have a McDonald's in your house? Can I live there? If
I
you,
would honestly. I probably own like I'm starting to think about like future Frank. Like I think about like old man Frank and what does he want?
I think we just
If I
discovered
use
a
my
new,
music as
we
like
just
the fast
discovered a
food
new
thing,
genre, Future Frank. Anyway,
yeah,
sorry,
I'm
go ahead.
helping future Frank.
Yeah, new
But
genre.
we were talking about like the weed stuff. I would love to have like an orchard or a farm, and then just like make like have like my own weed section. But I would also like to have a vineyard so I could sell wine. Like I would just think like all these things that you could do. But it's so weird because like we are living in a time where soon everything's going to be automated, and like that blows my mind. Like AI is getting so much smarter, and like just it's going to replace us. Like I know for a fact a computer one day is going to do everything for us.
Yeah,
So you
like
have to kind of design that future.
even like today, I see a lot of like NFTs because I'm doing that Tezos thing, like on, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I
Can
see
you
like,
link me?
yeah, I will, yeah, yeah. And what I like about it is because compared to ETH, it's only like 7 cents for a gas fee, like a transaction. Where if you even go to do
Mm-hmm.
one transaction on ETH, like Ethereum, it's like right now it's like 60 to
Mm-hmm.
$120. Like holy fuck. But anyway,
That's wild.
I'll link you. But I forget where I was going with that. Oh yeah, a lot of people are doing the AI generated art now, Frank. It's like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what,
I've
my
seen it.
computer, like here we go, hit start. They're doing all they write the program and they do these
Mm-hmm.
like beautiful like art and stuff like that. But then again, it's like it goes back to the question: is that the artist or is that art? Is that the computer doing it? You know what I mean? Like it's
You know what I would want to do one day? I've told a couple friends about this, and like everyone has very strong opinions about AI. I want to connect a computer to my brain and have it show me how my brain works so that I'm able to create art by thinking about it or like feeling it. And like I was thinking about starting like a Twitter bot that just scans every tweet I've ever made and then make an account, like a private account that just shows like generated FrankJavCee tweets and then go through them and see which ones resonate with me the most and then just post those.
that's a really good idea. I think you should do that. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Anyone out there listening, the one of the 10 of you.
I don't know, collaborate. I like I don't find myself as a competitive person. Like I'm like all for me. I'd rather be like, hey, let's do stuff together. Let's see what we could make. Like I love the
I
idea of
agree.
just like
Do you want to hear
someone
do you want to hear my
a
business idea then? I'll give
yeah.
this for free. But we need to go in on this together, okay?
Okay.
Interactive tombstones. Okay?
So you mean just like, hey, go on my Instagram after I'm dead? You know what's weird
No,
about
I'm
like
talking like
dying young?
tombstones, like solar panel, like tombstones in the graveyard because people still want to be buried for some
Yeah.
reason.
I don't know.
Um,
I'd rather be cremated.
well, you know what? Yeah, me too. But for an extra $300, you can have a casket cam.
Yeah, and just
Anyway,
people could see that.
you can. It's like
I
a
don't think
live.
that's a
It's,
very
no, that's not a very good
sustainable
idea.
business.
That's not a very good
Death
idea, actually.
is a big business because everyone has to die and everyone has to be born. But
That's right.
I think the like real like I get the idea of like a future like a future tombstone. I think the internet is actually our secret future
It's an
tombstone.
NFT.
And it's like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like
tied to your
okay, like
body, like by a code.
yeah, like let's talk about like famous musicians who have died in their youth. Like I remember when I was like a teenager, like a little kid, I worshipped Kurt Cobain because I thought his music was so good, and like
Oh,
having
same
him
here. I
have a
was in a
tragic
Nirvana
end.
cover band back then.
Yeah, like that's how I learned all my music was just playing his song.
Yeah, same
And
here.
like to me, he was like this icon that would always be forever young. And now you have like these like new kids like Little Peep and XXXTentacion. They die young, and like they're just monumented as like this little time, just this little capsule of time, and like
Yeah.
stuff like that always gives me like weird existential dread. You know, like the main reason I dyed my hair, originally it was like gray, but it started turning blonde because I didn't take care of it too well.
Yeah.
Was because I wanted to see how I'd look like with gray hair because I was like really freaked out about not being old.
Yeah. No, well, I bleached my hair during this lockdown, and then all of a sudden it started growing out, and then I had like roots. You know what I mean? I was like, well, I haven't.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
weird. That's
40
why
years
we're
old. 40-year-old doesn't like it. Doesn't I don't look good with roots, like with a middle part mushroom cut. You
That's
know?
the Zoomer look.
Yeah,
I mean, who cares? But,
wearing my
well,
New
I mean, it's your
Balance.
opinion. You could just be whatever you want. I love
Oh,
New Balance.
you
I
know
have
what?
New Balance shoes.
Oh, they're my favorite shoes.
Yeah, they're just like grilling dad shoes, and
So
that's the vibe I want to give off.
you heard it here first, folks. FrankJavCee and I support New Balance shoes. I'm a size
Mm-hmm.
12. New
Mm-hmm.
Balance. If you're hearing this,
So give him some free shoes.
please
I'm
give me
a
some free.
10.5.
So is that what you are? 10 and a half?
Yeah. How tall are you?
6'1".
See, our shoe size are relative to our height. I'm 5'11".
You're
And
5'11".
you know what's weird? People think
I was gonna say
I'm shorter in real life.
really.
Yeah. Like when I met John Zabelli, he was like, "What the fuck?"
How tall is John?
I don't want to give his height publicly.
Come on,
we're
talking barbecues. We're talking.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. I would say like maybe 5'7" at the tallest.
Oh, that's way
Or
taller
5.
than I thought he'd be.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Well, he might be shorter. The thing is, like, I haven't measured him. I haven't been like, "Hey, let me measure you." But like,
well, I think next
next
time you see him, I think you should measure him or ask him to measure himself.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see if he's like 5.
Let me send you a picture
5
of me and him the first time I saw him. I love Zabelli.
Oh, I love Zabelli too. So at the Econ 1, which I wasn't there, I was there in spirit, but it was so funny when
I
John
went to both, and it blew my mind.
When John came out the door and you ambushed him, you're like, "Hey, it's John Zabelli," and he's like, "Oh my god, I guess I'm live on the internet." That was like the best part of
and
that.
Then I lied, and I was like, "Yeah, there were 100,000 people there."
That and Dan Mason watching Dan
honestly
was like the best. I cried when I
was
watched
there.
Dan
It was
Mason play
interesting.
live. Like I was at a pool party.
What? But you don't cry when I play live? Cringe.
Yeah, I know. But I was like at a pool party and I was like playing it on my phone, and Dan Mason was just going off on stage at Econ 1. I'm like, I started crying. I'm like, love you, Dan. Love you, Danny, Tommy Mason.
Well, somebody has to.
That's it. Oh, was that the first time you met him?
No, this is like after Econ 2. The first time I met him, we have like the weirdest face. He's like kind of like, I don't know. Because like he does this face, and if we ever take a picture with him, he's like, and like that's just his vibe. But like me, I'm the opposite. When you take a picture of me, I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
You can't see people listening, but this is the first picture I have of us together. We met in Little Tokyo in LA.
I love his face there.
Yeah.
He's just he's like, you're like all stoked to meet him, and then he's looking at the camera like, I don't know who this is. Like,
yeah.
That's
that was
awesome.
a fun day. We got sushi. We went to a Goodwill together in LA, and he bought a Wii for like $11.
I wonder how many Wiis he has. I think he has a couple.
He has a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I don't think we could ever be roommates because I'm very into minimalism. Like I don't want things. I'm like, this has served its purpose. Goodbye.
Yeah,
but like he has stacks and stacks of just archive.
I think we both like thrifting. Like him and I.
I'm the opposite. My parents love thrifting, and because of it, I've kind of like developed like an anti-thrift.
Yeah.
Because like they're hoarders. They hoard everything. If you go to my house, it's just boxes of stuff.
If you go to my parents' house. If you go to my parents' house, my mom still has like a crystal shoe, like a high heel shoe full of soaps on like this hunter green like countertop in the bathroom. And then you know those soaps that you squeeze, it's like bath oils, like the little like they're almost like little jellies. Like anyway, she has all this like 90s stuff in the bathroom, like even like doilies and like hanging off the wall and like collecting dust. I'm like, you know what? One day I'm just gonna go in there and donny it and just like redecorate. I think.
I know it's like kind of fucked up.
It's her comfort zone. You know what I mean? She likes it.
When my parents die, I'm gonna inherit all of their stuff. Yeah. And I was thinking, should I just start a channel where I go through everything and like just inventory everything and then sell it on eBay?
You know what? Do that. Get an interactive tombstone going on.
I don't know if they'd want to do that. Like my dad actually, I feel like if I even were to film my dad, he would become a bigger star than me because he just has this charismatic. Everybody loves him. My mom's the exact opposite. She hates everybody. She doesn't want to be seen. I remember one time, like early in one of my videos, I was like, "Hey, do you want to be my video?" And she got like super mad at me, and I was like, "Okay, fine, then I will." It was in my witch house video because my mom's like I guess like when I was born, she was really into new age paganism and stuff like that. So she has like a bunch of like witchy stuff everywhere and a bunch of like occult stuff too. She has like all these weird spell books and candles and jars of shit. I have no idea what it is.
Well, it's like my daughter.
And so
my daughter's turning 11, Frank, and she's like getting into like she's like Wiccan. She wants to be Wiccan.
Interesting.
And she's like she's going out in the country. Like she has like a youth group with other kids, like just chilling out and doing Wiccan shit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, you know what? If you want to do that, that's cool. Like whatever. As long as
it's all spirituality.
Yeah, that's right. It's spirituality.
Don't hurt anyone with it though. Don't like those girls that killed the other girl for Slender Man.
Yeah.
Like that's fucked up.
Yeah. I went out with a girl once and she looked at the street light and it went out and she goes, I did that with my, like, cause I'm Wiccan. I'm like, you turned the street light out? She's like, yeah. And then we walked down the street. I swear to God, Frank. And she looked up to the other one and it turned out like that other one turned out. I'm like, whoa.
Wow. And you Northerners are interesting.
I know, but guess what then? After that, there was no truth to that whatsoever. It was just like a one-off deal.
Yeah.
But
bummer. You should ask her to turn you on. So anyways.
Oh my God.
I mean, I've experienced like paranormal shit before, like spooky ghost energy or just like weird spontaneous synchronicities or just like getting a feeling.
I've heard a ghost once.
And that should happen there.
What did it say? I've heard a ghost once, but only once in my life.
Ooh.
And I also saw a UFO, like straight up. My fiance and I and my friend Trav saw a UFO off his back deck, like fucking zigzag across the sky. But that's another story.
That's cool.
But only once. So I moved in. I was going to audio engineering school, and I moved in with my buddies. I'm like, why are they doing dishes at 2 a.m? So I get up to see who's doing dishes. No one is doing dishes, Frank.
Cool.
And it was a ghost. And
nice.
And I did not sleep that night. But the dishes...
you could have just been hallucinating.
No, I just moved in. It was like college. I just moved into my new house. Like we rented a farmhouse on a vineyard. So we were in the middle of a grape field. Like on the Niagara Escarpment. And like... one time I did Ecstasy and I was like...
It's funny you say that because when you were quiet, I heard dishes being moved.
Yeah, the dishes were being moved. But one time, I'll just tell you this story really quick. When we first moved in, I did a little bit of Ecstasy. And there's a beautiful waterfall coming down the escarpment, right? So here I am at the bottom, like sipping it and like throwing it on my face and like drinking the water. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. Like I'm in the middle of a, Then we get to the top and they're doing like a condo like construction. So there's like garbage and like dishwashers and stuff in the stream, right? So like this stream that I drank from was just full of garbage at the top of this escarpment. But I was like high on ecstasy. So at the bottom I was like living my best life. And then when I got to the top, it was like fear and like panic set in because I just drank a bunch of like water.
Dirty water.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I've been at a party where everyone was on ecstasy except for me and everyone was so nice.
Oh yeah, people are super nice. I haven't done that in a long time, but
yeah. And they were just like it was weird because it's like my group of friends in college that I would just hang out with, like stuff with, and then like leave. But they were like super nice that day, and like then afterwards they were just super weird, and I stopped hanging out with them.
Yeah, well, that tends to happen after you start doing that a lot.
I feel like that's an interesting metaphor for like just like there is like this kind of like optimistic rose-colored glasses, and then you'll like turn over the corner, and then someone will be like, "Oh, reality." And then like it like gets weird.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's like when I did that, I was like 17, 18 years old. I did it every weekend, right? And like it was like awesome at the time, but it was just one of those things where it's like you're doing it just to try and get, as high as you were the first time, and you never get that high. And then it just turns everything else in your life to shit, you know what I mean? As far as like even like coming down, like fucking you're coming down for like 2 or 3 days after, it's like,
There was like this one pivotal moment in my life in second grade that I remember to this day. It was a Friday after school was over. I went to the corner store. I bought a bag of hot Cheetos and a chocolate Nesquik milk. Went home, put in it was like this straight to video VHS of Aladdin and the King of Thieves. I watched it and I looked outside and it was golden hour and I said, "This is a perfect day." And for some reason, I've been like chasing that nostalgic feeling all my life.
That was the perfect day. Yeah, it was a perfect day. It was.
Yeah. So like whenever I kind of try to emit like this like childhood longing of like something beautiful, I always just remember that feeling. And like I kind of just
Frank,
go there.
You're talking to the guy that has a floppy disk stapled to his wall right now, which was the first floppy disk that gave me the internet. Like that installed the internet for me back like in the late 90s, you know?
You're like, "Thank you, floppy disk."
Yeah, you ever parents ever take you to like trade shows where you go to like a little arena or something like, and there's like a whole bunch of like,
No.
so I went to these things called home shows, like trade shows, like home shows.
Yeah.
So like you walk around and all these local companies give you stickers and Bell Canada.
Yeah, I've been to NAMM. Do you know what NAMM is?
Oh fuck, I wish I was at NAMM.
Yeah, I went to NAMM not knowing what it was. I was 17 in marching band and we performed at the opening ceremony. And as our reward, they let us just walk around the trade show. But the catch was we had to walk in the trade show in our full outfits. I need to find pictures. I remember I deleted some because it's super embarrassing. Me and my friend took a picture of like these like what's the guitar brand, like Gibson like stage showgirls, and like I just look really uncomfortable.
So you had to wear your marching band outfit at NAMM?
Yeah, and walk around NAMM in a marching band outfit. And I remember one of the weirdest
people telling you to play something or
no, they would sometimes be like, "Hey, you, yeah," or if they saw the performance, they would say something. And then I took a picture with a big contra. It was like a contra bass flute, and it was like at least 6 feet tall and wrapped around. And then the weirdest moment was there was like this Chinese company that was selling a saxophone case that you connected to a saxophone and you'd play it, and then it would pick MIDI for you. So it was like a MIDI saxophone. And I was like, "I play sax. Can I play it?" And they're like, "Oh, you can't touch it, but we'll show you an example." So this guy played it for me, and he showed that in the software it was playing MIDI. And I was like, "Cool." So then he's like, "So how many do you want to buy? Like 200, 300?"
Oh my
and I was
God.
like, "I'm 17 and in a marching band outfit.
Yeah.
You think I could just afford that?"
You never know, eh? These days. 17 in a marching band.
I like the marketing.
Yeah. 17 in a marching band outfit. Buys like a $3 million NFT.
Yeah. Have you seen that little kid? There's like some kid on TikTok that's just mining Ethereum, and he shows his rig, and it's all these like graphics cards just.
Oh my God, no.
And I think he has like $50 million worth of Ethereum.
Yeah, it's going up, but yeah, it costs a lot to mine.
Have you seen the Billie Eilish documentary?
No, but my daughter told me to watch it.
It is so good because like it's so weird, like the way her life is it's very like I wouldn't say like it's very similar to mine because she literally grew up in a neighborhood like 2 miles away from my house
and grew up online and got a little bit famous online. Like I want to say that
then like there's like a moment where she's performing and everyone around her's like, "Oh, you did such a good job," but she goes backstage and she starts crying because she felt like she didn't do a good job. And there are so many moments in my life where I performed and everyone's like, "You did great," but like inside, like I like hate myself. And I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I felt like very connected to her in that moment. I get that. Like,
well, people are human.
One of the main. Yeah, like I get so depressed when I would perform live. I would get this high, and then afterwards, I would just be so sad.
Well, that's like
all my dopamine was just gone.
I've read a lot of like rock and roll, like Slash and like Nikki Sixx, all their like books, and like even Anthony Kiedis, and they're like, yeah, you're on stage and you have all these people fucking like right in front of you, just dig into everything that you're doing, and then you go backstage and you're by yourself again. Like you're literally by yourself. All the, you know what I mean? Like
it's jarring.
And then also
it's a weird experience.
Then they turn to drugs to like try and feel something after the fact,
Yeah. And then sometimes like I performed shows where like it was horrible and even the audience didn't like me and like that shit fucked with my head for a really long time. I'm not gonna name names, but there was a show where I played with someone, and I did not like that audience. And if I
Really,
see them
eh?
again, I'm gonna kick their ass.
Why the audience was like,
Are we
"Fuck you,"
recording?
kind of thing? Yeah. What
Yeah.
is the audience? Was the audience like, "Well, fuck that"? Like, what?
Okay. Hey, what's up? It's me, Frank. If you want to learn more about me, Google FrankJavCee and see what pops up. So yeah, I'm also gonna do a little ad for you guys, so you guys could get out on some good deals. Let's see, what's a good ad read? Ooh, explainer video for productivity software. Let's see.
You're breaking up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, thanks for having me, Incarta. It was a pleasure. I enjoyed speaking to you.
I had a great
Goodbye,
time talking to
everyone.
you. I love you,
Me too.
and I'll
Oh,
talk to you
thank you.
later.
Extreme feelings of passion to you as well.
Right on, crouton. Have a good night.
Okay, good night.